Thank you for letting me know that. All right, round 2. So, okay, talking about doing this business full time without another job holding you back. I basically did that. So it's awesome, but it'll only be awesome if you're willing. See if this will show up. I didn't want to screen share again. It'll only work out for you if you're willing to do the work. If you're willing to grow your mindset, if you're willing to discipline yourself. If you don't discipline yourself, you're just going to be basically running around like a chicken with your head cut off every single day, thinking you're being productive. Yes. You what? Sure. Thinking you're being productive when you're really not. Just pulling your phone out and interacting with people on Facebook on your newsfeed isn't going to help your business. Pulling your phone out and messaging 1 or 2 people isn't going to help your business. Pulling your phone out and asking a couple people to post for you and don't follow through with them isn't going to help your business. What's going to help your business is getting on a strict schedule. I can't even move my first thing right now. Block scheduling is one way people do it. I have a block schedule that I somewhat follow that's going to have to change because school ends in a week. But I try to wake up before my kids. Being pregnant and overly tired makes it a little hard. But I try to wake up before my kids to do my coffee, my celery, my self-development, my journaling. And I always, always, always try to at least interact and message with 30 people in the morning right away, in case my life, because people are busy. It's fine. I've got 5 kids. Life does not go the same every single day. Some people are able to handle or, keep a strict same thing every single day. Some people can't. My day is chaotic every day. So I want to at least get 30 people messaged and talked or interacted with in the morning before I start doing anything else. That way, if all heck breaks loose, at least I can say I did that. But then I also, which I recently started doing, you can get a physical planner, a planner on your phone, whatever. My phone doesn't allow me to because I, for some reason, never have enough memory on the dang thing. But get some sort of planner where you can schedule out your days. I can find where I wrote it down. Or you can literally. My has it hourly. So now every single day, I think I'm gonna start doing it Sunday nights and just do all week instead of trying to do it every night because like I said, life gets busy. Sometimes I just don't get it done. And I literally write down what I want to do the next day, every single hour. When I want to make a post, when I want to message another 30 people, when I want to follow up with messages in case I get behind on them. I literally just write it down in here, and then throughout the day, I highlight it if I've done it to hold myself accountable. Otherwise, I miss a whole ton of crap. If you can hear my kids screaming, I'm sorry. Corporate made this task list. I used to think it was stupid, the KPI tracker, until I started doing it. If you don't do Instagram, skip the Instagram tasks. I don't suggest trying to do more than one platform if you're just learning. I also do not recommend with boards. Boards are amazing. I love boards. They're great. But if you're just learning and you are just trying to learning about products, unless it's like a board like Nicole had mentioned about like just tips and like overcoming objections, don't start reading too many boards. No, I'm not dealing with it right now. No, get along or don't play together. Don't try and use too many boards at once because you're going to confuse yourself. You're going to accidentally message things you don't mean to message. You're not going to, it'll just get really confusing and overwhelming. And an overwhelmed mind says no, which is going to make it harder for you to grow yourself and understand what you're doing. So be careful with that. Don't overload yourself with all these boards. They're great and cool and all, but just try to keep it basic. So this is basically a task list with everything that you should be doing.
I have something to add to that. If you're learning the boards, what I did to learn some of like the ones that I actually use on a daily basis, if I'm using them, is I actually went in and sent myself messages on Facebook so I could learn what, different tabs were for what was going to happen, the kind of flow of how they have their board set up. So then you get a little bit more used to it. That way you're not just sending out a random message you didn't mean to send. So that's one thing if you are trying to get, like, even with the overcoming rejections, like I had mentioned in our group chat, if you're trying to look up a rejection, just open up a Facebook message with yourself and start pressing the buttons. That way you can kind of read what it actually fully says and the flow of how that works. That way you have a better idea before you're just pressing out buttons and sending messages that you don't mean to send, like Sam was mentioning.
If you see me rolling my eyes, it's not at any of you guys. It's definitely at my children. So much screaming. Exactly. Yeah, that too. Like I said, when I first started doing this, boards weren't even a thing, so everything was already in my notes, and I could edit it myself at then. So if you have a shared board that isn't your own, you can't edit it until you paste it into your message. So make sure if it's like for certain things though, like I know some of the distributor messages that people have in there, make sure it doesn't say anything crazy like you've been in the business 7 years, like you edit it so it fits you. Like Nicole is saying, make sure you read it before you send it. Hence how that can get overwhelming and confusing.
Make sure it doesn't say you're a mom of 5 if you're only a mom of 2.
Yeah. Pretty much. But anyway, so I know, back to the task list thing. This task list has basically everything you should be doing. Like you can do almost all of this in the morning, except like, well, sometimes you can, but like getting 10 hosts to post up. That is the goal, is getting 10 hosts to post up. It's going to grow your network tremendously. It can be scary asking people to post for you, but it's not that bad. It's going to help grow your business so much quicker. It's going to help you stay way less spammy off your page. It's going to take away the no one's interested, no one's commenting on my stuff, no one's this or that. Because really, it doesn't matter if people comment on your stuff or like your stuff. You know how often or not, oh, thank you. How often people actually react or comment on my product posts? I'll get like one post a month that literally blows up with comments about a product. And it's usually a super basic one too. It's not one of the one that has like a pretty picture on it of the product or a pretty picture of a drink. It's usually a super basic one with a colored background. So don't worry if people aren't commenting on your post or interested in your post, because if you're host to posting, it won't matter because you're growing your network and getting plenty of people to talk to into your potentials list. B, if you feel like you don't have people to talk to and you're not getting interaction on your page, you're not growing your network, which could be your biggest problem, which is where getting 5 to 10 hosts to post a day comes in. If you're brand new, 5 is okay. If you're been in the business a little bit, your goal is 10 or more, because you know what you're doing, you know how to reach out, you should have the friends list to reach out and ask, and the ability to grow to get more. Like I think on the first, I got 22 hosts to post up because I was focusing on giveaway posts, because that's going to build your friends list the quickest because people like money. And then you ask those people to post product posts for you, which then gains traction. So if you're not growing your friends list and you're seeing little interaction, that can be why. I started with 200 something Facebook friends. I don't know. Most of them are like friends and family that thought this was a joke. My mom still won't buy from me, even though she's tried to sell Pampered Chef. You know, my mother. She also thinks that she can get mosquitoes drunk with her blood, but that's fine. Don't rely on your friends list that you have when you start this business. It does not matter, because you're going to grow your friends list. You're going to add new people. You're not going to be asking all your friends and family to buy from you all the time. I'm pretty sure none of my actual personal friends or family bought from me when I started at all. One of my first people was from Canada, actually. Crazy enough. So make sure you're doing that. If you're not showing yourself and you're sharing posts all the time and you're being super spammy with random stuff that doesn't show you as a real person, that could be your other issue. When I stopped sharing posts that other people shared, everything changed. It was magical. Facebook, Facebook basically like deemed you as a social person versus like a spammer. So when you share stuff, it doesn't think you're original. It doesn't think what you're posting deserves to be seen as much. So less people are actually seeing it. It's a true thing. You could even do research on it, I promise. It's a thing. Facebook algorithm. So don't share stuff. Occasionally, yeah, sure. If it's like something about a missing kid or, something, just don't be constantly sharing stuff to your page, basically. I don't think I ever share anything anymore, really. Occasionally I'll share something Mark posts, our CEO. But that changed the way my page got interaction like crazy. And then I started just making sure I did these things every day. So we talk about a power hour all the time. And like I said, most of these tasks on this list, you can do power hours. You can do in a power hour. So what a power hour is, you do not have to hop on with somebody. You can do it by yourself. It's just more fun to do it when you're with a bunch of people listening to music, whatever. I prefer non-guided power hours now just because I do a whole crap ton of messaging now. Yes. But literally, so a basic power hour breakdown, what I'm going to tell you is, first thing you do is you go make a Facebook post. Take 5-10 minutes, make a Facebook post to your stories. You can use story slides with products. If you follow me and you look at my stories, I don't do it a lot, so don't steal my stories because they're too personal. That doesn't really work for you. But there's the Telegram page that has stories. There's stories, I'm sure if you look up in the team page, stories. There's Posting Club that has stories. Pinterest will have stories. You can look at other people's stories and see if they share stories. You hold your finger down on the screen and screenshot, but make sure you're posting a story set of something that involves the product or the business in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a personal one, like just you making product and talking about it, that works. Make sure you do that 1 to 2 times a day. Show up in your stories because, believe it or not, that actually get stories are viewed so much more than your page. So I start with a post and stories. And then after you post in your stories, I usually, yes, okay, interact on my stories for, depending on how long I have for my power hour, for 40 minutes or an hour, 5 to 10 minutes. I interact on my stories. I try to comment on a person's story, react to one of their things, and we do it on another person, as many as I can. And then for 20 minutes, I will go down my newest friends, oldest friends. Right now, I'm still sticking to A to Z. I interact. So by interacting, what I mean is liking. Yes. Liking 2 to 3 things. Stay off your computers, I said. Thank you. I don't care. You are outside. 2 to 3 things, and not just like. You can heart it. You can the caring react, laugh react, whatever. And then comment on one thing. All right, hold on. Okay. I wasn't gonna yell at them all.
You tell them, Mama.
I was just saying, I know what that mute button is.
So what I do, you don't have to do it this way, but what I do is I interact. Like I said, I comment on one thing intentionally, so not just be like, oh, cute. Be like, oh my God, that's so cute. I love your shirt. Where'd you get it? Oh my gosh, your daughter is so adorable. Like, be intentional. Act like you care. Don't just be like, oh, that's cute. The algorithm is 3 to 4 words is what's going to trigger the social interaction for Facebook to be like, oh, hey, they're friends. So try to do that as best as possible for the people you're interacting with. I try to hit 25 to 30 people. But see, I do it typically where I interact with them and then I go and message them. If I've never talked to this person before in my life and they're a brand new friend, I don't message them right away. Don't do that. That's tacky. Don't do that. People don't like that. It's really annoying, trust me. When people from other businesses do that to you, you'll be like, really, I don't know you. But like if I've talked to them before, messaged them before about anything, I will message them some sort of thing. Today I sent out almost 30 messages about my samples down my friends list that I was interacting with. I'll send them something about a detox challenge, a weight loss challenge. If I've recently talked to them about products and they never responded for the last 2 times, I'll ask them to do a host a post for me. If they never respond at all, I'll be like, hey, can I ask you a favor? When they say yes, because more than likely they will, because now they're curious, I will ask them to host a post for me. That's in the new DT board that most of you should already have. So that's my little trick for people that don't talk to me. Usually works out pretty well. So then once I do that, I'll save you. If you're doing it my way, you might do it for like 30 minutes. It usually only takes me about 20, 25 minutes to do that with 30 people though, if you're actually doing it quickly and intentionally and you're not like overthinking it. And then after you've interacted on stories, adding people. If you're for some reason blocked, I haven't been blocked in a while, knock on wood. You can go to your friends list and add from their friends list, add from their recent likes on posts that get a decent amount of likes. Add from people you'd have mutual friends with. They're more than likely going to add you. Or if you're doing host a post like you're supposed to, go through your host a post and get friend requests or friend adds from there. For giveaway posts, I tell people to add me. For product posts, I tell them I added them. And then once they add me, I message them. But those are the two best ways to get friends. Or groups. So I have 2 blue healers. Get in groups that you relate to. If you are a dog mom, specific dog, go find those people. Go find your people. You don't want people to join your team that aren't like you. You don't want someone to join. If you hate cats, you're not going to go to a cat group and start adding all the people that love cats, are you? No. So go find your people. Go find groups you relate to. I watch Grey's Anatomy. I'm in a Grey's Anatomy group. I'm in a Shameless group. I'm in a 4 blue healer groups because I love my dogs. I'm in mom groups. Mom groups can be a little touchy, so be careful there. Some moms are very opinionated. But go find your people. That's another way. But don't just go adding straight from the group, because if you add too many people too quickly from certain things, Facebook will block you. But start interacting in the group. Start like finding people that respond back to them, and then start adding them that way. Like start being strategic about it, but don't waste too much time obviously scrolling through the group or sitting on it mindlessly. Make it businessy. Like if you're sitting on your couch at 11 o'clock at night doing nothing, sure, go ahead and do that. But don't like waste your business time obviously playing on Facebook groups. But that's a good way to find friends, is doing that. So I add friends for like 5 minutes because I'm super cautious and don't want to get blocked anymore. Some people can add like 30, 40 friends at a time. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to. I won't do it. But when you add, and then the very last thing you do in your power hour usually gets you, depending on how long you've interacted for, to 40 to an hour. The very last like 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, go message. If you did messaging like I did throughout it, you'll be responding to messages. Otherwise you can go bump your Facebook posts on your personal page. And what I mean by bumping them is posting before and afters on your product posts. If you don't have an application, I'm not going to go into making an application on this because just take forever and it's not necessary. I suck at following up with mine anyway. I just post it to use it as a bump. I haven't checked it in so long. But post an application on your distributor post, just post a GIF, post a avatar, whatever, to bump your business posts and your product posts, because then they'll get thrown back into your news feed and people will start seeing them, and then people will comment. Because when you respond to stuff on posts, like one of my pregnancy posts asking people if I'm having a boy or girl has 570 some comments, and I've been using it as a giveaway post since April. I just keep changing the month. And every time I go and tell people I message them from that, more people comment because it gets pushed back up into my newsfeed because Facebook thinks it's relevant. So if Facebook thinks your post is relevant, more people are going to see it, and then it could blow up. It couldn't, who knows, but bumping it. The same thing with your host posts. Go bump your host posts with before and after pictures. It's just really about finding that discipline and that consistency. And if you at least do that 1 power hour at nighttime, in the morning, 1 to 2 a day, you will start to see traction. And the more you do it, the more often you manifest that into your day and make yourself do it, it's going to happen. Now, what I've been struggling with and is starting to help me now with getting back into that flow. Because yeah, I hit Ruby, I think a month after I lost my job. And then I got lazy because I was like, oh, sweet, I get that. So then what you need to do is figure out what you need to be doing, what you stop doing, and keep doing it. So I got lazy. By lazy, I literally mean lazy. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. So then I got back into just rowing and listening to podcasts, but not just self-development podcasts, but business building podcasts. Basically giving me tips that I wasn't doing that I could implement. So like when I don't want to do something, we work from our phone, you guys. We can take our phone anywhere. We can do it anywhere. The only problem that we're not is we're lazy. We don't want to. We don't feel like sending the messages. We don't feel like going through and doing a specific thing. It's easier to scroll Facebook and do nothing. It's easier to just laugh at a funny picture and keep going. So basically, what I've been struggling and battling with on and off now, every time I hit a promotion, I seem to hit this struggle, is forcing myself to just go do it anyway. So getting off my butt. If I'm tired, because I get tired. I'm 8 months pregnant. 8 months pregnant. Oh my goodness. I get tired all the time. Get your body in motion. Go for a freaking walk, because shockingly it works. Get your body in motion. Go do something. Don't sit down. If you want to work, but you feel really unmotivated to do it, really tired to do it, sitting down to work, you're probably going to fall into the scrolling Facebook, watching TV, falling asleep like I do. So before you do anything and you know you're not going to do it, you know you should, but you're not going to do it, go do something that's going to wake you up. Go for a walk, go take a shower, go dance, I don't know. Go move for like at least 5 minutes and then start doing it. I've learned that works best for me because a lot of times like my interacting and like scrolling through Facebook, I don't want to do it. It just feels like it takes forever when it doesn't. And it makes me really tired. Throwing on music can sometimes help, but I have found best that when I want to work, I have to throw on something that's motivational that I can listen to, because then it's basically telling me in my freaking ear to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm working towards something. I'm not going to get there if I don't do it. I'm not going to get there if I go in my bedroom and watch Lucifer and plug my phone in instead, because I'm guilty of that. I'm not going to get there if I tell myself I will do it later. I'm the queen of going, oh, I'll just do it tonight when Dave is home and he's playing Call of Duty at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, no, I won't. I won't. Instead, you know what I end up doing? I end up scrolling TikTok. TikTok is evil. Don't laugh at me, it is. So I've had to start literally forcing myself. I have started putting alarms in my phone. Like when I mentioned how I write everything down when I want to do it at what time. That time that is written in here, it goes off in my phone. So it's in my face, yelling at me to go do it. I did a Tony Robbins, my growth 5-day training thing like 2 weeks ago, and my fridge is now full of Post-it notes of all of my notes rather than writing them in a notebook. Because when you write them in a notebook, the notebook's closed. You don't see any of it. I mean, taking notes is great, but not when you don't go back and look at it. So I started just everything that motivates me, just put it in your face. If your goals, it's over there now. Hang on. My goals, put it in your face, hang it up everywhere. Oof. I have like 4 of these stuck to the walls around my house. It's the goals I want to do. The things I want to achieve, the car I want, the house I want, what I want my savings account to look like, the biggest paycheck I want to see. It's printed on a piece of paper, and I have like 4 of them printed out, and it's not in a book. It's not in one spot. It's on front of my desk. It's in front of my bed. It's next to my bed, and it was on my fridge until Damon stole it. Because he does that. But I just have to start throwing stuff in my face and reminding myself every single day why I do this, why I want to do this until my phone reset. My goals were on my phone. Put it back on there. So every time I unlock my phone, they were in my face. My alarm literally says, wake up, you have goals. Yep. So it's just basically about knowing what you want, knowing how to get there. The things I shared this morning. I can find it in this gigantic freaking notebook. Literally says, what is your daily schedule to start moving in that direction? I sat there for like 15 minutes, you guys, because I know I need to make a new schedule because it just did not work for me last month. I enrolled a whole bunch of people, but I didn't hit my goal I wanted customer-wise because my focus wasn't there. So I literally took like 15 minutes to decide what I wanted my schedule to look like and how I was going to do it. I said I had to start waking up earlier and consistently waking up earlier, not just saying I'm going to do it and then go, I'll do it tomorrow. I woke up an hour later than I wanted. It's fine. It's not fine because my head thinks it's okay. Therefore, I'm not going to do it. So I need to start waking up earlier. I need to be up. I want to be up by 6 a.m. minimum. Earlier would be great, but I go to bed really, really late. Start my podcast right away. Celery, coffee, getting it on my social media and staying consistent because people are going to see you being consistent. That is one thing people are going to buy from you. If you're only being on your page occasionally, every other day, talking about if you use a product and you do use it daily, show them you use it daily. Otherwise, they're not going to believe you. Show them you're using it. Every single morning, I post about my celery, post about my coffee, whether it's a live, depends on how tired I am. I haven't been doing lives in the morning. I've been posting them in my stories. But showing my coffee, showing my celery every single day. People think it's a smoothie for some reason. I don't know. But they ask. They ask because they're like, oh, what is that? Is it a protein shake? No, it's just celery. So making sure that I stay consistent every single day. I need to make sure I do a minimum of 45 minutes work in the morning before I get anybody else going. My kids have to be ready for school by 7:45, 8 o'clock every single day. They stayed virtual. I did not send them to school. So I do my business with them at home. I've got 5 kids. It's possible. I have to make sure the only kid that's usually awake is Damon, and he's pretty low maintenance. He just sits in the living room and creates havoc with the TV and his toys. So I have to make sure that I stay disciplined and do my stuff and I don't get sidetracked. I don't go and start watching TV with the baby. I don't fall back asleep. I have to get 45 minutes done in the morning, which I try to get it done once the kids are up, and it's not going to happen, you guys. It's not going to happen. Kids are hard. And then I need to making time throughout your day. I get it. People are busy. Nicole was going to school. I think she's on break now for summer. I don't sit on my phone all day, you guys. I don't sit on my phone all day. I wish I did. I mean, sometimes I do when I'm pregnant and I feel like I'm going to die because my stomach has just been, this baby needs to come. But when that happens, I'm not sitting on my phone messaging people, though. I'm laying down because I'm super exhausted. So making time throughout your day in between making dinner, playing with your kids, doing homework, whatever it is you do, you're working your full-time job if you have one. The nooks and crannies, literally, like you go to the bathroom and you're at work, go send some messages, go make your post. If you're home all the time, but you're dealing with kids 24/7, take a few minutes to just sit down and message a few people. Just finding that time in your day to get the things done. And that's where my scheduling my time came in, literally hour for hour. But getting better at that because I've just been slacking. My house is a freaking mess. Like, I can't keep up. I'm sure once this baby comes in, I'm less tired from my body just dying. It'll be better. But I need to work on that. I sat here literally, like I said, like 15, 20 minutes just trying to rethink my day and how to do this. And the very last thing I wrote was, following through with writing everything down. If you are not writing down your potentials, if you are not writing down your follow-ups, if you are not writing down what you want to do the next day, what your goals are, what you need to do to reach your goal. You're not going to get there. And I'm not innocent, or I'm guilty of it too. I screenshot all my conversations throughout the day, and I tell myself I'm going to go write them down. These are all my potentials, by the way. I tell myself I'm going to write them down every single day in here, or night. I don't. My phone is full of screenshots of people that I have yet to write down, because nighttime comes and you get tired, you get lazy, your head is winding down. So I need to force myself to get back into that habit. So if you are wanting to do this full time, you think it's going to be easier because you have more time in the world, and I hate to break it to you, it's not, because you won't know what to do with your time. So I leave them alone. So you need to literally get strict with yourself. And if you are confused, if you need help, YouTube was my best friend. I literally self-taught myself. YouTube was my best friend. Literally just constantly reading the team page, reaching out and asking questions to people that, even if they weren't my enroller, I mean, you have an enroller who's here, so please ask. Nicole's helpful. You can ask her. You can utilize the team page. I did not have, or the team chat. I did not have that at all. Like, I was lucky if my upline responded to me, because she was one of those people that would leave you on red for the longest time. Ask Nicole. Pretty sure there's still messages she hasn't opened from her. So be grateful that I decided to make that switch. I get they're busy, but like, utilize the group page then. If you have a question, for some reason I don't answer, Nicole doesn't answer, no one in the group knows, because it's mostly newbies, ask. Odds are someone will comment and help you out or reach out to you. Don't be afraid to ask. This business is all about growth and growing yourself and becoming independent, really. It's not like going to a 9-to-5 where someone tells you what to do. You need to tell yourself what to do. So if you don't tell yourself what to do, you're going to be stuck. I was stuck for 6 months. I did not magically start making money. Wish I did. I wish I was one of those people that went diamond in 90 days. I really do, but I wasn't. That would be awesome. But there are people out there who have been in the business for years that all of a sudden just stayed doing it and hit big, started growing. So it's 100% possible. You do not need to make, or you don't need to be amazing overnight. Hi, honeys. Oof. You are all sweaty. That being said, does Nicole have anything to add on with the last 7 minutes of this? Me ranting about just disciplining yourself?
No, not really. I think one of the main things is, like you said in that group chat, even if you're personally messaging your enroller, whether it's myself or, Sam or Steph or anyone else in our team, if for whatever reason you're sending your enroller who got you joined into the group a message and they're not answering, just remember life happens to everybody, and utilize that group chat when we're, all trying to communicate. Even if it's just trying to have fun, like interact and have fun with us too. Let's all get to know each other. We all joined for a reason. Let's get to know each other so we can embrace each other. We can build each other up. We can help each other out. That's what a team's all about. So you're not in this alone unless you're treating it as if you're in this alone. And, if you're not asking questions, we're not mind readers. We're all moms or college students or Boy Scout leaders or, dog moms or whatever. We all got stuff going on. We all have life happening. So if you're not asking the questions, we're not going to know that you even have a question that needs to be answered. We're not going to know how to help train you if you're not responding to trainings, or, like even team meetings. If you're not taking that little chunk of time in your day to join in and just get to know your team and get to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. How do you guys do it? You never know what everybody else is going through and how they're planning out their day or dealing with those obstacles that are happening if you're not communicating it. So it's kind of hard to give that advice if we even do possibly have it. So utilize that chat, utilize that, you have a support group, you have people here, you run your own business, yes, but you have a support group to help you do that. You're not alone. That's all I got.
You got to show up. If you don't show up, I can't help you. Nicole can't help you. Steph can't help you. No one can help you if you don't show up. I can't run the business for you. Cole can't run your business. First step is showing up, being present, plugging in. You can't learn if you don't let yourself learn. I don't know. It's an easy business to do if you follow what to do. So many people say it didn't work for them because no one wanted it. You know why no one wanted it? Simple. You're not doing it. No one wanted it because you're only reaching out to the people you were friends with. Like I said, none of my friends wanted it. I was, let's see, what, 2.5 years? So I was like 23, 22, almost 23. No one cared about their health at 23. They cared about drinking. I was a mom of like 4 kids at that time. None of my friends had kids yet. They all thought I was crazy. And then they all thought I was even crazier for selling coffee online. That's what they saw. Literally. That's why no one wanted it. You need to broaden your horizons. Get the heck out of your comfort zone because trust me, it's hard. I know. It would have been a cold day in hell for me to be doing this 2.5 years ago. I didn't even turn my camera on Zooms when I first started doing this. I was afraid to get on Zoom. So I was like, what if someone tries to talk to me? No, thank you. I didn't want to do one-on-ones with people. Like when my enroller wanted to do one-on-ones, and I'm like, really? I have to talk to you on the phone. I don't know if I can do that. But once you get out of your comfort zone, it's so much easier. And the breakthrough will happen. The vision will happen. You just gotta let it. I don't know. That's all I got.
Yeah, I
Steph
think
wants to jump in on anything she can too. I don't mean to hold her out.
I think the only other thing that I have to add is just also remember with rejections that a no isn't necessarily always a strict no. It's just not most of the time, 99% of the time, what I've learned is that it's just a not right now. I mean, for example, a lot of you guys haven't really been able to get to know my story, but I literally was on Sam's page for at least a good year. And I probably stalked her at least a good, well, not stalked, but like saw her post at least a good like 6 months. And finally she had already been messaging me. We had already been talking. I was already possibly interested, but I let myself fall into every single excuse and doubt for why it couldn't do any good for me until finally I saw a camping trip that she took the family on. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, I want to just go randomly camping. That's my thing. And so finally I just randomly wrote her like, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? So, and a lot of you guys probably did get the option to start for a discounted price. When I started, I was like, screw it. I sold old clothes. I sold old shoes, just anything that I wasn't using that I didn't really care about so I could start because I was just at a point where I was like, if I don't try it, I'm going to keep looking back and wonder why. If I do try it, maybe it's going to go somewhere for me. And last year I was able to pay for my fiance to go to Arizona to see my stepdaughter. And then in October, we went to New Hampshire for his friend's wedding. And then in November, me, him, and my son Damien all went to Arizona on a road trip to go see my stepdaughter again. So I mean, if you put in the time, you put in the effort for your business, it will pay off, but you have to put the work in. So, and if people aren't responding, they're probably still watching.
That's true. All right, it's gonna cut us off, so I don't want it to cut us off while talking. So I'm gonna make you share your story on the next one. So be ready for July. I'm gonna make you talk the whole time. All right, I'll get the recording up as soon as I can. Love you, ladies. At the end, whoa.